Good morning, people. It's Craig. Welcome back. So this is not the episode I was planning to film today. I was planning to film either Polkadot, Cardano, or maybe one of the crypto miners. But if you're like me, you woke up this morning and went, what happened? What's going on? So I put my portfolio into CoinMarketCap just because they have a nice pretty graph of your portfolio, which Binance, which has all my coins in it, when you go on their app, it doesn't have that. So I always wake up, look at my portfolio on CoinMarketCap. Funny thing, being Canadian, I sometimes switch between having it show me what my portfolio is worth in Canadian, and sometimes because everybody on media talks about coins in terms of American dollars, I sometimes have it on American. So I woke up this morning and I, popped open my bleary eyes and looked at my portfolio and went, what? Oh, that's probably American. Nope. It was Canadian. And yeah, things were down like 18, 19%. If this was the stock market going down 19% overnight, we would have front page. Every TV channel would be talking about the market crash, market crash, market crash. I guess in crypto, not so much. We get used to pretty big swings up and down. So this episode is going to talk about what happened, what caused it. I've done a little research on that. And then we're going to look at the charts and we're going to go some technical analysis to say if this kept going, have we hit support? And I'll go through a bunch of different coins, as you can see on the screen. Obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, and Binance. So there we go. So let's get on with this. All right. So things have already started to respond. The old buy the dip thing has definitely kicked into gear. I just wanted to show you how things are now that things have recovered a bit. When I woke up, everything except for Dogecoin, good old Doge is there. The old meme coin was up, not this much. Everything else has come back a bit. And now Doge is up another 17.39%. But earlier today, everything was down 19, 20%. And even my beloved VeChain, which we just talked about last episode, was red. So things have come back. That's good. But I'll just go to the charts after this. Dogecoin, though, again, I couldn't understand why it was the only coin that wasn't down when everything else was down like 19, 20%. But it is what it is. So let's talk about the reasons. I found this is the only article I could find as to what happened. Most of the articles this morning, even though everything was red, like by a lot, I went on the interwebs to find articles about what's going on. And this is the only one I could find. So it's about 6 hours ago. But they were saying Bitcoin crashed to a low of 51,000. Now, if you remember, wasn't even a few days ago that Bitcoin hit the all-time high of 64,000. So that's a substantial drop in the last less than a week. Due to forced liquidation of long orders, and we'll get into that in a second. A string of bad news triggered the sell-off. However, only one of them was verifiably true. So this is where people are putting on Twitter and other things, FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You might be wondering, why would people who are into crypto try and spook other people? Think about it. There's a lot of people, a lot of corporations, a lot of big whales with lots of money in their pocket that haven't gotten fully into crypto yet. They want to see a pullback. And maybe I'm even in the same boat. I would love to put more money in, but when I see where my portfolio is and I say, oh, I want to put another $2,000 in from my most recent paycheck, I go, damn, that's not even going to barely make a dent. That's not going to be a big, huge help. But so pullbacks can be considered good, but just it will spook people. And it did hurt a lot of people that were leveraged to the hilt, like lots of margin. And that's what this article is going to talk about. While many indicators showed that buy on the dip may persist this week, and it's already started to happen. By the time this guy wrote this article, things were really, really bad. And now you'll see from the charts, things have already started coming back up. So let's get into those three reasons. First of all, somebody tweeted out that the U.S. Treasury was going to go after some institutions for money laundering by using crypto. That caused a 12.3% dip within 20 minutes. And of course, people who want to push the market down will do it when there's few people actually monitoring so that there's not a lot of depth to the market. And also, yeah, it's a weekend. It's a Saturday night, 11:15 p.m. Eastern time. And somebody puts out that the Treasury Department is looking to go after a bunch of companies for using cryptocurrency. This one was quickly debunked. A prominent crypto lawyer, this guy raised skepticism. He says it's not the Treasury Department that goes after companies. It would be the DOJ, Department of Justice. So that right away just didn't seem to have any verification. There was also some tweets out there about the Chinese halting production because of their coal mines. It just, even if that was true, who cares? China not producing more coins should be an upswing thing. Plus, they shouldn't be using coal anyway. That is not ecologically friendly. So I don't know why that would matter. And then there was also rumors on the interwebs or Twitter that the Coinbase executives were all selling their coins, which later was debunked. This guy posted yesterday, the chief product officer, financial officer at the exchange sold nearly all of their shares, which later was proven to not be true. As you can see here, it was debunked that there was probably, if anything, some confusion about options. A lot of these executives have options. They might have liquidated some options, but they haven't sold their shares in Coinbase. And then the tweet was taken down. So again, people trying to, when the market is thin and there's hardly anybody there, they try and put out these things that will cause a ripple, a downward effect. And then, of course, there's a lot of AI, algorithmic computers that trade for people. So if it sees more than a certain percent drop, or maybe it's even checking Twitter, and if it sees things like going after institutions, blah, 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 it'll all of a sudden just hit a sell, just sell, get rid of stuff. And once that happens, the liquidation starts. And when that happens, Binance, which is the biggest crypto exchange in the world, as I love them dearly, I only stake my coins. I do not use leverage for this exact reason. If you go on Binance, you'll see that many coins you can put 3, 5, even 10 times as much coin in your wallet by using leverage, which means if you did the 10, which would be insane, you might have $10,000 in coins and you want to be able to control $100,000 of whatever that coin is. Of course, it doesn't take much of a pullback for you to get a liquidation order from Binance saying you've got to liquidate because now your 1/10 doesn't cover. So it only really works if you're 100% sure the coin's going to go up. And as soon as you are that leveraged, it's got to go up. And this is what it's saying, that because of the billions of dollars, 9 billion drop, a lot of people were forced liquidated, which just causes that cascading effect where then even more coins have to sell because Binance is forced selling these coins. So if there's ever a reason to say why you don't leverage your coins, crypto is already volatile enough, both up and down. And that's why a 19% pullback doesn't even make the news barely, because people are just used to these swings. So anyways, that was that. And this guy's just saying that this was likely the largest, this is likely the closest to a March 2020 Black Thursday moment we are going to get ever again. So they were talking the buy to the dip. That already the premiums have come back on Coinbase. If things are panic selling, there's going to be huge spreads between the bid and the ask. And then when things calm down, the bid and the ask come back together. And that's what they were saying. And of course, this was written hours ago. Anyways, that was generally it. Fear that's being spread by people twittering of all these things that are bad for the market. And you know their motivation. They want the market to go down so that they can get in cheaper because they will have a lot of money sitting on the sidelines that wants to get in. So let's go on to, this is Binance. I don't blame them, but if you see here, like XRP can go 10 times the margin. These things are moving all the time because it's updating. So I've got it listed to worst loss presently to best of my watch list. So you can see TKO's done well today, 23% up. VET, my baby, is up 9.21%. VET and BNB, 8%. VETHO, the little brother of VET, up. So VET's up. That's good for me. BNB is actually not too bad either. It's up versus Bitcoin. But yeah, the real losers are up here at the top. XRP's down. DOT, I own DOT. That's not good for me. What else do I own on here? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Most of my coins that I own are in the lower half of this thing. So that's good. Let's talk about support areas. So we'll go with Bitcoin. As you can see, this was the big sell-off. And this is, I believe, my 0.318 Fibonacci. I'll go to another screen in a second. But you can see when I zoom in this much, this is a 5-minute chart that it's already been the buy the dip thing. There's already been that rebuy and then a second test, which didn't get as low, and then it's up again. So I'm just saying maybe we've hit the bottom, maybe not. We'll get into a wider screen in a second. Okay, so here's Bitcoin zoomed out a bit. We're on the 4-hour chart. So I did my Fibonacci from this point, which is, if anybody ever tells you that technical analysis is a science, it is sort of, but it's more of an art because you could pick different points. You're supposed to pick the start of the uptrend. But if you zoom out here, you see I picked this point because there was a kind of a significant pullback here, and I consider this the next start of the uptrend. But I mean, other people might go, oh no, you gotta start back here where it's really started. Who cares about this pullback here? Yeah, so each person has their own interpretation of where the start of the uptrend happens. But just so you know, it's other people could come up with other numbers. But when you see this, there was a trend line and it got broke. This big pullback broke the trend line, so that's not good. Now you have to decide how far is it going to go down. You can see this wick here. I don't know how well it comes up on the camera, but you can see that this is a wick that came down and almost touched the 318 pullback. And now we've recovered a bit. So we may never get back here, but I'm just saying there's going to be some support around 51,300. So something to consider. That should be a support level. The 50% is at 48,000. And then if the 618 pullback is down at 42, I don't think we'll get that low. We're still in a bull market for my interpretation is at least till the end of summer at earliest, and probably the end of this year. So, and then the altcoins have even longer to run than Bitcoin. Bitcoin tends to roll over first and then other things. I don't have any Ethereum, but I thought I'd show you. Again, this is where we talk about the art versus science thing. Ethereum didn't have those big upswings like a lot of other coins in the not too distant past. As you can see, it's kind of hard to figure out. It's more up and down. Anyways, I picked this point back here. I could have also picked this point here. You can see this is a pretty significant pullback. Nonetheless, if you take the longer Fibonacci, then Ethereum, although it didn't rocket like a lot of other coins did in let's say a month ago, like most coins started, it also didn't break this trend line. So anybody who does own Ethereum, that's at least good. So you have the support of this trend line, which is good. And you also have the support of this 0.318, which is around 17, let's say 18,000. This trend line, let's just say if it came down here over by here, it'd be about 18,900. So I don't own Ethereum, but I have more of my hopes in Binance because they have their own smart chain to compete with Ethereum, and so does Cardano and Polkadot, and a bunch of other people are all competing in the same space with Ethereum, and Ethereum has high gas fees right now, and until they come out with their new Ethereum 2.0, I'm just not a big fan of getting into Ethereum at this point. I think there's better bets. This one is BNB. So this is one of my favorite coins. And it's, even before this pullback, it was already kind of sluggish in the last few days. And then this pullback happened. So it was already kind of trending. It had already broken the trend line, and then all of a sudden, woof, down. So it got all the way back to the 50% retracement and now has bounced off. So again, they all sort of say the same thing. They've all hit support levels, and it's just a matter of, are we done, or is it going to roll over and try hitting that support again, or even hitting a lower support? And I just wanted to bring this one up. This is Binance versus Bitcoin, which I always think is important to look at too, because you want to compare horses. You know, you got one racehorse, you got another racehorse. Which one's the better racehorse? And I'm comparing this to Bitcoin because it's the granddaddy, the OG of cryptocurrencies. And as you can see, if this goes up, it means it's beating Bitcoin in terms of returns. And it's done quite well. And because even during this pullback, it hasn't gotten savaged versus Bitcoin. And it got down to about the 38% retracement, and now it's kind of sort of bouncing off. But again, we're comparing this to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's bouncing and this is bouncing, it's which one's bouncing harder. Next one is VeChain. VeChain, you can see here, it just barely, one of these, now this is the longest wick I've seen. This thing goes all the way from here all the way down to here. I always wonder in the middle of the night, I'm getting updates. I always wonder in the middle of the night whether this is just one big seller who just blasts the limited supply of bidders and knocks it way down. But once he's gone, it jumps back to where it should be. And the same with this wick up here. It's super long. Was that in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m. when nobody's watching and somebody just comes in there with a big order and knocks out all the asks? Who knows? But anyways, if we use the full bodies, it didn't even really get down to the 38% retracement, and now it's back up again. VET versus Bitcoin, again, comparing one racehorse to another. VET has been doing really well lately, as you can see from this. It's just been a nonstop. Uptrend, and it's obviously outperforming Bitcoin because here, even during this pullback, it didn't really even get affected. So, in other words, Bitcoin was going down as much or more than VeChain was. That's a good sign. It's very bullish for VeChain. Polkadot, again, it's already started to come back up. One wick almost came down to the 38% retracement. Not really the bodies though, not even close. So do we have some support down here? Yes. If it did roll over, I'm thinking around $32. There's some support there. And finally, ADA, Cardano. Now Cardano, as you can see here, lately it's been sluggish. I mean, this is a congestion zone here, up and down, more sideways than it is up. But I took Fibonacci from way back here. Again, it could be, I mean, it's hard to see one solid uptrend. There was definitely one here, and then it kind of, yeah, I'd say from here to here was a solid uptrend. And then after that, it was more like consolidation. But it is what it is. So from here to here, the 38% retracement, it never even got close, not even with a wick. So that's, that's bullish for Cardano. So there we go. So long and short, what I wanted to say here is, yeah, you might wake up and get spooked, but don't let the FUD get to you. We're in a bull market. I think this is still a buy the dip mentality. If we get down to the 38% or the 50%, then consider it a gift if you've got money on the sidelines and you've been wanting to get in, these are the pullback days you want to see. So yeah, I want to get more money in. And, when I woke up, I wasn't happy that my portfolio was down, but you got to look at the silver lining. Okay, well, I've got some more money on the sidelines that I did want to get into crypto on a pullback. And this might be that gift we wanted, because as we saw from the article, there really isn't any substantial thing. And I kind of knew that, because when you wake up, if there's going to be bad news, it's probably going to be bad news on one particular coin. Like you're going to see most coins are staying fairly normal and one coin's dropped 25%. And you're like, whoa, what happened there? And then you read the news article about that coin. But when you wake up and everything on your phone, so when you wake up and everything looks red like this, you kind of go, yeah, that can't be an article, a bad news article, because how is that going to affect every cryptocurrency unless like World War III just broke out? And even then, World War III breaking out probably wouldn't be bad for crypto. It would be bad for the dollar, the fiat currencies. So yeah, it is what it is. So you can rest assured, buy the dip is still in play. We've got a ways to go before we start thinking sell the rips. Usually it's buy the dips and sell the rips. But I think you don't want to sell, if you have a good day where you're up 10%, stock, you might go, oh, it's up 10% in a day. It's time to sell the rip and buy it lower. But I'm concerned with cryptocurrencies that if you sell and it doesn't pull back much and it takes off, you're going to go, oh, I don't want to buy it now. It's higher than when I sold. And you're going to end up getting left at the train station. The coin's going to keep going and you're going to be like, damn, I should have never sold. So I would rather have my core position, just leave it there until I feel like the bull market has run its course. And then I'll consider moving into some of those tethered coins that are tethered to the dollar and wait for another opportunity to get in lower to really build the portfolio. So hopefully you found that informative or entertaining. If so, show the channel some love by giving it a thumbs up. Obviously subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any future episodes on cryptocurrencies, crypto stocks, everything that has to do with investing, with a bit of a slant towards crypto, but I might get into some other stocks as well that aren't necessarily crypto in the future, so look forward to that. So that's it. I will make another episode soon on either Polkadot or Cardano. That was my plan for today, so look forward to that. It'll be up probably later today. Anyways, wishing you happiness, health, and wealth in that order. Ciao.